Hello and a warm welcome to GableStage. I am Karina Batchelor, the dramaturg for Old Wicked Songs, and today I am delighted to guide you through an exploration of Vienna's rich and dark history and its profound impact on the two characters, Viennese professor Joseph Mashkin and his American student Stephen Hoffman in John Marans' Old Wicked Songs. In the theatrical journey set against the backdrop of Vienna in 1986, a pivotal moment unfolds with Kurt Waldheim's presidential candidacy, casting a shadow on the city's imperial past and resonating with the echoes of World War II. The narrative navigates the complex layers of the city's history, from its imperial grandeur to the lingering impact of wartime struggles. Against this backdrop, the characters grapple with personal histories, collective memories, and the enduring legacy of Vienna. Any narrative about Vienna inevitably leads us to the grandeur of the Habsburgs, a dynastic powerhouse that left an indelible mark on European history for over 6 centuries. The Habsburg dynasty, originating in the 13th century, evolved into one of the most influential and enduring ruling families in Europe. At the zenith of their power, the Habsburgs' vast realm extended across a mosaic of territories, encompassing not only the heartland of Austria, but stretching to Spain, the Low Countries, parts of Italy, and even the Americas. The breadth of their dominion forged a complex tapestry of cultures, languages, and influences that characterize the Habsburg Empire. The Habsburgs played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural landscape of Europe. Vienna, as the imperial capital, became a thriving center of intellectual and artistic achievement under their rule. An example of their influence on Viennese culture includes their patronage of education and intellectual pursuits. Established in 1365 by Duke Rudolf IV, the University of Vienna is one of the oldest universities in the German-speaking world. The Habsburgs provided financial support, granted privileges, and attracted renowned scholars to the institution. In the 1700s, the Habsburgs' imperial court had one of the largest musical retinues in Europe, a collective of singers, instrumentalists, and composers, solely committed to advancing Habsburgs' principles and identity. The Habsburgs, as staunch supporters of the Catholic Church, fostered a prolific environment for Catholic music within their imperial court, and considered the promotion of Catholic values and traditions as crucial elements of their reign. Music, being a powerful medium for conveying religious sentiment, played a central role in expressing and reinforcing these values. Pictured on the left, Leopold I had a deep appreciation for opera, commissioned the construction of a new theater, fostered musical activities at the Viennese court, and even composed music himself. A century later, the enduring influence of these values persisted in the Vienna of Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven. A few musical pieces that premiered in Vienna include Die Zauberflaute, the Magic Flute, by Mozart, Fidelio by Beethoven, his only opera, and Symphony No. 9, Beethoven's monumental Ninth Symphony, premiered in Vienna as well. The Habsburg legacy is not devoid of shadows, and their history is intertwined with a long history of anti-Semitism. In various periods, Habsburg rulers enacted discriminatory policies against Jewish communities within their dominion. While some emperors, like Joseph II, showed tolerance, others succumbed to prevailing prejudices, leading to restrictions and expulsions of Jewish populations. An instance of the persecution of Jews is the Vienna Gesera. The Judenplatz, historically the center of the medieval Jewish ghetto in Vienna, was home to one of Europe's largest synagogues during the 14th century. It symbolized a thriving Jewish community that constituted approximately 5% of the city's population. However, as the century approached its end, a rising anti-Jewish sentiment among the wealthy bourgeoisie began to emerge. From 1420 to 1421, Duke Albert V, a member of the House of Habsburg, faced financial trouble and, influenced by anti-Jewish sentiments, collaborated with locals to persecute Jews in Vienna. This led to the expulsion of poor Jews to Hungary, while wealthier ones were tortured for money. Forced conversions were attempted, but most Jews resisted. Some even chose suicide in the synagogue, which was later destroyed, its stones used for the University of Vienna. Rachel Whiteread's sculpture, pictured on the right, titled Nameless Library, unveiled in 2000, is a Holocaust memorial in which the walls are covered with books, but the books have been turned inward. These closed, unreadable books represent the still lives of Jews murdered in the Holocaust. The area around Rachel Whiteread's work has its own particular resonance. The memorial sits opposite one part of the Jewish Museum in Judenplatz and on top of the excavated medieval remains of the Jewish synagogue. The dissolution of the Habsburg Empire was precipitated by the cataclysmic events of World War I. The empire, faced with internal strife, nationalistic fervor, and the challenges of a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape, crumbled under the weight of its own historical legacy. In the early 20th century, Austria emerged as the residual state from the remnants of the aging empire, earning the unfortunate label of the state no one wanted. It was characterized by tumult, marked by the struggle for Austria to define itself, first in 1918 and then in 1938. The failure of Austria to safeguard the state against Hitler's Greater Germanic Reich further added to the challenges of Austria's complex historical narrative. On March 12, 1938, Nazi Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, annexed Austria, effectively absorbing it into the German Reich in an action known as the Anschluss. The events unfolded with the entrance of German troops into Vienna, marking the beginning of Austria's incorporation into Nazi Germany. After the Anschluss, Vienna found itself at the center of a political and ideological shift. It not only altered the geopolitical landscape of Europe, but also brought profound changes to Vienna's identity, effectively erasing its national identity virtually overnight. In the subsequent days, weeks, and months, Austrian and German Nazis systematically imposed Nazi ideology on every facet of Austrian society. Approximately 100,000 Austrians gathered for Adolf Hitler's inaugural address at Vienna's Heldenplatz, located right in front of Hofburg Palace. In an article entitled Austria Faces Up to Nazi Past, historian Heidemarie Uhl stated, Austria has the peculiarity of having been part of the German Reich. This makes it the only European country besides Germany that has an explicit history of perpetration. Between 1945 and approximately 1988, Austria portrayed itself as a victim rather than a perpetrator of the Nazi regime. This victim narrative was geopolitically advantageous for Austria to avoid reparations and international condemnation. This complicated inheritance and historical perspective have strongly influenced Austria's self-perception and global image. In 1986, the year Old Wicked Songs takes place, Kurt Waldheim, former Secretary General of the United Nations, is campaigning to become the president of Austria. During World War II, Waldheim served in the German army and was stationed in the Balkans. Information emerged during his presidential campaign revealing his association with the German army's intelligence division in the Balkans, where war crimes were perpetrated. He faced accusations of having participated in Nazi war crimes, including the deportation of Greek Jews, atrocities committed against Yugoslav citizens and resistance fighters. Despite the controversy, Waldheim was elected president of Austria. But his presidency was marked by diplomatic isolation and a tarnished international reputation, showcasing the lasting impact of the Waldheim affair on Austria's political history. The picture of the left was taken on May 22, 1943. It was released by the World Jewish Congress, and it shows Kurt Waldheim, second from left, at an airstrip in Yugoslavia. He is standing with Gruppenführer Arto Fleps at Podgorica airfield. Waldheim's autobiography In the Eye of the Storm, Kurt Waldheim, was published in 1986. Interestingly, his book only briefly touches on his early years and deliberately omits any mention of his controversial service with the Wehrmacht during World War II. The narrative offers a selective glimpse into his life, focusing on specific aspects without delving into the contentious periods that have since become subjects of scrutiny. Throughout the play, the resonance of Robert Schumann's compositions serve as a powerful thematic undercurrent. Schumann's musical masterpiece, the Dichterliebe, intertwines with the narrative, reflecting both characters' emotional journey and the complex historical backdrop of Vienna. Robert Schumann was a German Romantic composer, an influential figure in the 19th century music scene. His compositions for the piano, exemplified by works like Carnival and Kindersehnen, not only showcase technical prowess, but also demonstrated an unparalleled ability to evoke emotions and narratives through music. Schumann's life was marked by a profound and often debilitating struggle with mental health issues. In 1833, a hand injury shattered his aspirations of a virtuoso piano career. At the core of Schumann's emotional universe was his profound and enduring love for Clara Wieck, an accomplished pianist and composer in her own right. Their relationship encountered substantial challenges, including opposition from Clara's father. Yet their union in 1840 marked the merging of artistic souls. On February 27, 1854, Schumann made a suicide attempt by leaping off a bridge into the Rhine. Fortunately, boatmen rescued him. After the suicide attempt, he insisted on being admitted to an asylum for the well-being of both himself and the family, where he spent the final years of his life until his death on July 29, 1856. The Dichterliebe, one of Schumann's notable works, was based on a type of German song called Lieder. Lieder are characterized by their focus on poetic and lyrical expression, often set to music for solo voice and piano. Schumann's Dichterliebe, in particular, exemplifies his mastery in capturing the emotional nuances of poetry through music. World-renowned Lieder accompanist Dr. Graham Johnson, OBE, explains Lieder this way. All songs have lyrics, but in many cases, the tune comes first. With Lieder, the opposite is true. The poet is often more than the composer's equal, and the poem is often a great work of art in its own right, known and loved without music. The composer's task is to give this poem a heightened existence through their own vision and imaginative skill. The song's melody and text are the singer's responsibility, but it is the addition of a piano accompaniment, subtle and sometimes highly complex, that adds harmony and character to the whole. The words of Schumann's Dichterliebe were written by the Jewish poet Heinrich Heine. Heine, a prominent German Romantic poet, contributed profoundly to the literary and cultural landscape of the 19th century. His evocative and often melancholic poetry provided Schumann with a poignant foundation upon which to build the expressive and intricate musical structure of the Dichterliebe. Here is a snippet from Ich grole nicht, or I bear no grudge. I bear no grudge, although my heart is breaking. Love lost to me forever, I bear no grudge. You are radiant with diamonds in your splendor. There falls no light into the darkness of your heart. Old Wicked Songs illustrates the transformative power of music, notably through Schumann's Dichterliebe, which serves as a guiding force, shaping the characters and delving into the profound depths of the human experience. This exploration poignantly mirrors Vienna's complex inheritance, rich with history, music, and its collective guilt. I hope you enjoy the depth and resonance of this captivating journey. Enjoy the show.